Yeah, I mean, like, because it was like it was like a Canadian show, I think, but it was books first. But the episodes where they would kidnap human beings and put little brain worms in their ears always gave me the like sympathetic, like itchy feeling.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought
I
it was
didn't know
something
the
on the
Animorphs
news.
did that.
Oh,
Nick,
Is
is
that
this
how the
something you're?
Animorphs gained their Animorph power?
I think it's the bad alien. Like the Animorphs are good aliens, and then the bad aliens have the ability to just like take a human over like a parasite by putting like this
slugs.
thumb-sized worm in their ear.
Oh, okay, like Baracas.
Yes, it's exactly like that. But like also it's because it was like a show that was aimed at kids. I was like 6 when that came out,
Oh,
so like
yeah.
that was some of my earliest body horror.
Not young adults.
Seeing, oh, you know who is the guy who does the voice for Appa, and he does Ben 10 voices.
Really?
You know that dude who I'm talking about?
D. Bradley Baker.
D.
What's that?
Bradley. Yeah, I knew you would know it. Yeah. That guy, I remember that guy got a brainworm in one episode, and that must have been like one of his earlier things, but he made this noise that was so upsetting to me as a child. And go Google the animal noises that he makes, because they're a lot.
Oh yeah.
They're
He's
yeah.
he's one of the when I was trying to do voice acting in like high school, he was like, I want to be a D. Bradley Baker. I want to make animal noises. Like that or Brendan Small, where I just do everything.
Brendan Small, where you're just talking to yourself for half hour.
Yeah. For just hours and hours. I used to do a bit because I would just do the voices from Metalocalypse, where I would have a conversation with all the voices, but as themselves.
Oh, okay.
So it's just me changing voices and talking to myself.
So give me Nathan. What does Nathan sound like?
I'm not doing it right now. My throat is like shot.
Okay.
No, Ian's right. Chris, take us there.
Yeah, I mean,
he made me do Swedish Chef last time I was, and I think it was like one of my worst versions of Swedish Chef I had heard.
Oh, well, there's your problem.
I usually work on it so hard, man.
Ian, you got to give him like a day or two.
I'll give you a day or two, but I expect like some social media posting.
Yeah.
Of like at least one Nathan and one Pickles.
Oh, Pickles is hard for me.
Is Pickles hard? He's the Midwestern one,
it's
right?
It's bare, like it's such a weird specific Midwestern. It's like nasally, kind of subdued.
Kind of whiny, a little whiny.
Little whiny.
Wasp.
But he's very collected.
Mm-hmm.
Except when he loses his anger, then he comes out, or he loses his cool. Then it's like a child.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like kind of just fist down, eyes closed type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I could give maybe next time I'll work on the routine again. It was all about just being on a phone call. It was all about just trying to talk to someone who's on a phone. And everyone wants to talk to them.
Oh, wow. Well, you would know.
I would know.
Yeah.
I know comedy, dude. I like a lot of people.
You have so many people clamoring to talk to you, Chris.
Yeah.
Students of Oxford, I want to start with I know comedy.
I know comedy.
I know how yucca-mups work. I gotta go
teach fucking at Harvard those comedy classes.
Oh,
wow. Fucking I love the walk up a small ladder to write on the chalkboard jokes ? What are jokes?
For that matter, japes. What are japes?
How do we categorize them?
Yeah. And then I go on for a
Epistemologically.
long time about why most pranks suck, and then it's very like the mere concept of pranks means you're hurting someone, so you better come up with like a good workaround.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just an asshole.
Well, I mean, Jackass did that where they did it to each other. I mean,
yeah. So that's Jackass barely like gets away with it because it's a bunch of friends doing it to each other.
It's all people who have collectively said, "Yes, I want you to do some dumb shit to me."
Yeah.
It's not. It's not like walking up to an old man at the bus station and then like shoving him and being like, "What a prank, right, guys?"
Oh yeah. Well, to be fair, I mean,
fuck that old guy. Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah, they can't. No, I mean, I mean, the real prank is when kids see it and then they do it themselves and die.
Yeah, that's.
Hey man,
I've already told that story of that guy who walked up to my friend, right, and he's from Oakland.
Right.
Yeah.
He was waiting for coffee. And stuck his hands in his pockets.
Yeah.
Like dude came up and stuck his hands in my friend's pockets.
Oh, okay.
And then my friend immediately, like, all his reactions just start, yanks the dude's hands out back so creates distance. He goes, "Yo, man, what the fuck?" And then the dude stares at him like he had just gone crazy. And he goes,
"You're being weird.
It's just a prank. We're doing a prank, bro." And there's like a dude with a phone. He's like, "Yo, man, you gotta be careful who you do that shit to."
Yeah. For real. You know,
and my friend is very unassuming, by the way. You wouldn't like he's just a real cool, I think he's Korean.
Okay.
Korean dude.
Yeah.
I might be wrong. It might actually be Chinese.
About that.
You know what? I won't assume. So he's just a real cool Asian dude.
Okay.
But yeah, just his full instinct of being raised over. It was like he told me it was like being back there, dude. It was weird. Being back in Oakland.
Oh, Oakland. Okay. You know, that kind of reminds me of I think a video that was really popular when we were growing up, and we'll see if that's the case. But like I saw it on America's Funniest Videos. It was on YouTube a lot. It was like an older video of like a college campus prank wherein they're pretending to interview people and then a guy in a mask jumps out of a trash can.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember this video? And one guy, you know, gets spooked and his automatic body's response was to throw a punch at some jackass. And it's like, that's why that video works, is because you have accepted the responsibility of how a prank might go, which is, well, someone might have an automatic response of, I need to throw a punch at this. This is the devil coming out of a fucking trash can, I guess. Better do that.
Dude, people do that in like Halloween mazes, and those are like you sign forms and shit, and that's consensual. Like, yeah.
You never know what's gonna happen when you give someone a spook, or if you grope someone's pockets, you dick. You fucking creep. Anyway, pranks are dumb. Yeah. Pranks are dumb.
So Chris,
yes.
Hey, how deep was his pockets though?
Oh.
He was like, I didn't have much cash. I barely had enough for that coffee.
Okay.
All right.
This is good man. What a good man.
Yeah,
huge fucking nerd.
You know what? A good prank is if he put one of those brain worms in him and been like, "Yo, it's just a prank," as he turned into a horse or something. I don't know.
I want to know, because here's what I'm now thinking. Here's what I'm thinking about, which is, how far can you go in committing a crime and then just say, "Oh no, you guys, you don't get it. It was just a prank. This gun and this mask, this is just I was goofing." But I would love it if you still gave me the money you have. It's just a goof. It's a goof.
Just for the video.
Do you see over there? There's a camera. Now give me all the money you have.
Yeah.
It's so funny. We're having fun. I am gonna have to take your car right now, but it's for a goof. Look over there.
It's for a goof. It's for a jape. The jape of the season.
Good jape.
Oh man. Yeah. No.
What episode is this? Ian, you guessed right last time. What episode it was? Yeah.
Fuck. Well, I wish I remember what I said.
I think it was last time was 38, so I think we're 39.
39.
Okay.
How's about that?
Wow.
Nice.
That's about.
Wow. That's like almost more than last time.
It's barely more than last time.
Yes.
Barely.
Whew. Well, guys, if you've been enjoying, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I've taken some classes on marketing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
how you gotta come. That?
We really don't. We really don't.
We don't.
So
probably would have been way more successful if I had put in.
So I've decided upon myself, I'm gonna do a marketing thing right now. Hey, if you're the 5,000th person to comment on this, you're gonna get $10 million. $10 million. $10 million.
Don't you fucking.
From who?
Yeah, I hope you have the money because I don't got shit.
10 million.
I'm just saying, like, it's kind of like an email chain. I'm not saying who's gonna give it to you, but like if you do it,
we'll give you an email chain that claims you'll get $1 million.
Okay, we're gonna embed a link to each of our episodes with a chain that says if you don't pass this along to 10 people, you the ending to Terminator 2 will happen. So better do that.
I thought you were gonna say we'll be spoiled for you.
Oh.
And then the girlfriend's boyfriend died and drowned in the pond, and his ghost now haunts your Verizon Razr flip phone.
Oh my god, you guys, you're not going to be able to play Nintendo 64 ever again. It's too spooky.
If you don't speedrun this, Jesus will cry.
That's right.
I watched somebody do I don't really watch a lot of speedruns, but I just thought I'd mention this because I did, and hey, how about this?
Yeah,
like I said, I thought I saw Yahweh speedrun Mario 64.
That's right.
That was the one I was gonna say. I saw Mario 64 done in 17 minutes. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, speedruns are fun, man. You should watch them. I've always thought about doing a game, like speedrunning a game. Mm-hmm. The only problem is once you do it, it's gonna ruin that game for you. Because you've now learned to play it a certain way.
And you realize that it's just something you can kind of I can I can do this in less time than it takes to do a Grey's Anatomy. I can whatever.
Is Grey's Anatomy still going on?
I think so. I
feel
I'm sorry I asked that question. Well,
why do you need to know? Why do you need to know if Grey's Anatomy is still going?
I've been really thinking of this is the season I jump on. I think is the year
I see it vividly in my mind, right? Like, I'll look up in the ceiling when I can't sleep, and I'm like, it's Grey's Anatomy.
17 seasons. What?
Fucking took that ice pick like a champ.
I just found out. So there's gonna be a watch along podcast for SVU. Which why not? Every show has one.
Yeah, why not?
That's fun.
And I didn't realize SVU has been going on for like 2 decades, if not more.
Yeah. I was watching when I was a kid, dude.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
Does that count?
I think that, and then Ice Cube has been on that show for longer than like it's been a show.
Ice-T.
Or Ice-T. I'm sorry, I'm a monster.
I'm not Ice Cube.
Not Ice Cube.
How fucking dare you?
Ian Goldberg has been on SVU longer than Ice Cube.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Goldberg was
one of the first episodes.
What is? And then oh my god, the SVU universe, the Law and Order universe, which is apparently a shared continuity. That's the weirdest thing to me. I think that all these like Jeff Goldblum is also friends with the guy from Law and Order Classic.
Yeah.
That's
it's weird.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? What were we even?
Animorphs. Consensual brainworms.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
I like that as a title, consensual brainworms.
Putting brainworms in people in the hood gone wrong.
Oh my god. Listen, guys. It happens. And we're not talking about it. We're not.
Yeah.
And
brainworms in the hood gone sexual.
I would watch that. I probably own that. So
Man,
this is
Grey's
our
Anatomy only runs in 1080i, not even 1080p. The fuck is this shit?
Yeah, it's the resolution, Chris.
If you guys want to know what it sounds like when someone's buying time so someone can Google the runtime of a show.
By the way, it's 2005. It started in 2005.
That's a very long time ago. It's a very long time.
It is now.
Hey, you want to know something fucked up? The 3DS becomes 10 years old next week.
That's psychotic.
Oh yeah.
It's psychotic.
That is fucking. That is a.
Yes.
3D technology was the hot shit 10 years ago.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like, well, I mean 3D because we've had 3D movies since.
Yeah, but I mean like there was a push, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, do you guys remember when first of all, when Best Buy was still a thing people went to, but second of all,
it still exists, but like,
I mean, it's going the way of a lot of olden times. But when I used to go to the Best Buy near where we grew up.
Yeah, the place sucks.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
It's an open floor, like one big room. You can look out. You can see the end of the building as soon as you enter.
I want to also say, like, I'm sure I said it before, but I'll say it again. Who is buying fucking like stoves and vacuums from Best Buy?
That like, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you about that.
What is that? Who is that marketing share?
Maybe a fridge I can understand, but I don't
know. What was I gonna say about Best Buy? What were we talking about?
Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy.
Best Buy.
Fucking Best Buy. Man.
I know my brain's all over the place today.
I mean, it's been a wild few days, guys. If you don't know, like, who boy.
This is very spur of the moment. We all just found out. I just found out yesterday. Like, oh man, all three of us are going to be available like tomorrow.
Yes.
This might be the only chance this month to record the podcast.
And this is an extra short month, you guys. Yeah. Like, you gotta.
So take advantage of that. So this is gonna be outdated real quick.
Yes. So
Chris, this is outdated the moment we started talking about fucking brainworms from Animorphs.
Calling me.
Who's calling you?
I don't know. It's a number. It's probably about my car warranty.
Well, oh my god. I'm
so glad I'm not the only one, dude. People on the internet are getting that shit all the time now.
Everyone's getting it. I got it.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm getting it. They're never getting their money back. They need to accept that. they
took it. Mine.
Sorry, guys. I got all those credit cards.
I spent it,
and it's gone. The money's gone.
Wait, hang on, guys. Wait, my Social Security just expired.
Oh no!
Oh shit! You got to take care of that, dude.
I'm off the grid.
Yeah. That's right. Actually, don't take care of it, man. This is your once in a lifetime chance.
You can finally live a Johnny Appleseed lifestyle like you've always wanted.
Finally, god damn.
You can get a pet wolf.
You can live. You can live my dream of just being in a cabin out in the woods somewhere, and like no one bugging you.
Yeah, and then go crazy.
Yeah.
But the poems that'll come out of that, dude, so good.
As your mom comes to do laundry from the town that's only like 5 miles away, like less than a mile away.
She takes a plane ticket.
That's my favorite fucking thing about that whole situation, by the way. It's Walt Whitman, right?
Yeah, Walt Whitman.
What a fucking hack. He had to go.
He was a grass my ass.
I don't mean poetry. I mean what a fucking moody
man
teenager.
baby.
Yeah, like
He
I don't care if
did
his
you guys
poems are good. What a fucking liar. Hey,
He's
but that's
fake.
the
He ain't
hustle,
real.
right? So I respect it on that level. That's the hustle, and now we all
uh
read his stuff.
I did you guys hear about, I don't know if you've seen any of the Apple TV shows, but they did do a show about Emily
No,
Dickinson. They did
no,
a
I
show
didn't
about
know.
Emily
I
Dickinson.
didn't know that.
And John Mulaney plays Walt Whitman in it.
Wait, fucking really?
Yes, really. And so there's an episode which is, quite liberal with history, but
Yeah.
Emily Dickinson goes to visit Walt Whitman in his cabin and basically realizes, oh, this guy doesn't know how to do literally anything. Like, it is a miracle you're alive and your mom's doing your bed sheets for you. What are you doing? Oh my god.
Well, that's how you get good at poetry. You ignore everything. Don't learn any life skills. And just write poetry all day.
And you alienate literally everyone. Yeah. Exactly. That's what real poetry is. Oh man.
That's awesome. I didn't know he played it. Now I kind of want to watch just to see his interpretation of Walt Whitman.
It was pretty good. It was pretty funny.
I imagine it's like when Patton Oswalt's living in the olden times in Parks and Rec.
Come play with my hoop.
Look, Leslie, a hoop and a stick. A hoop and a stick. Come back, hoop. It's like one of the best episodes, if not the best episode.
It's very good.
Oh man, I'm so glad he jumped in. I don't know how to swim. I'm gonna go later on. I'm gonna go after you, Nick. But that does remind me, I do have a new show I really want to recommend from those same writers. So remind me of that later. Cool.
Nice.
Well, that's a good way to just transition into Nick's thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nick.
So what's up, Nick?
Been gone a minute.
How you doing?
Yes, I have.
Gone?
Due to life things, and surprisingly, because of that, I've just been going through most of my music. I had like a whole list of albums I want to go through that came out. Then I got like into a bunch of new music labels, so because I want to get back into more black metal, so got really into. Let me see if I got the name right. Shout out to the record label I Voidhanger. They're an Italian record label. They mostly publish bands that do a lot of psychedelic or any cosmic metal.
Ooh.
And oh god, there is one particular band I know Chris would love. I don't know how you feel about it, Ian. Chris, hang on, hold on. Whoa. Okay. This is my So the band
I'm sorry,
itself.
Nick,
No, see, that's funny. But like, the band is called Neptunian Maximalism.
Neptunian
Maximalism. It's an album called Eons. I would compare this album. I can't describe the sound, but I will say it's like in the same style of Hai Long, so it's like a ritual focus, but it's more like a Tibetan style.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it's Asian black metal and death metal has been coming up a lot lately.
Yeah.
What's it? Hugh? I forgot to pronounce it right. Who? That's the Mongolian one.
Oh wow!
Oh, that's got really big.
Oh yeah.
They're like talked about in the same breath as Hai Long. So.
Yeah.
Can I ask where you are? Is this mostly just through kind of stumbling around Bandcamp, or where are you finding kind of what you're looking for specifically?
Yes, and like there's some bands I was recommended like word of mouth to check out. That are around the same label. Like All Create was another one. They're kind of like black metal leaning more towards Ronzi Pazuzu. so it's
Cool.
like more
Okay.
atmospheric.
Cool.
They have a new album called "Stare Into Death and Be Still," and I think that album it might be one of my favorite metal albums of all time because it leans so much to the traditional, like very atmospheric and has a very clear concept that it's trying to convey, and just the tempo is so consistent, and the sound is so dense, like Behemoth or anything like that, where it's like they want you to have this intense feel, the entire time, like it's compressing on you,
Yeah.
especially with headphones.
You said I create, right?
All create.
Oh.
Uh,
You sure? All we are
yeah,
is now? Is the album?
no, stare into death and be still.
Yeah, my bad. All right. There's another band called I Create there.
Yeah, you can just search the album. But
Yeah, yeah.
so the album I was talking about, Neptunian Maximalism. Uh, okay. So have you both seen Ian? Have you seen the last Bill and Ted movie?
I did.
Okay. Do you remember the opening scene when they do the original song?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Do you recall what it sounds like as he fucking bangs on the steel
Yeah.
drum and he
Hell
like
yeah.
puts his mouth and
Yes.
fucking swallows
Yes.
that. Okay, it's that sound,
Okay.
but the structure is like high lung. It's like very
Cool.
ritualistic. Like, yeah, that's the only way
Okay.
I can describe it because I also my other compliment will say this is probably my favorite use of a saxophone I ever heard in an album.
Mm.
If you look up the album and look at the tags of genres it covers, it's like 20 or 25. Like
Oh shit.
there's no way to describe this except like because I've been trying really hard to think of a way to sell this in like a sentence or two.
Mhm.
That's really how that's really how I can put it. And also the album cover is like fucking insane. It's done by one of my favorite painters. I end up looking up Kaneko uh Toriyama, who
Yeah. The
puts
art's
out
pretty
like
great.
crazy, yeah, right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like a small, it's like the center part of like a bigger portrait. He makes
Mm.
like massive paintings. But yeah, it's a three-parter of an album. You have To Earth, To Moon, To Sun.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, that one I just fell in love with. And then yeah, another one was I was telling Chris about it recently was a noise band. I was recommended Shoo Shoo. They
Mhm.
had an album called Girl with a Basket of Fruit.
Okay.
And I think because I was getting really into a lot of the shoegaze and noise music from
Mhm.
like a lot of East Asian stuff. So like Melt Banana, Master Fermenting Dregs, people like that.
Mm-hmm.
So then I try to get more into noise music. So this Shoo Shoo is a duo from LA, and Girl
Oh.
with a Basket of Fruit is an album.
Do you mean the
Concept
shoe
wise,
shoes?
no, shoot like XIU, like
Okay.
Shoo Shoo.
Okay. Oh,
XIU
XIU.
space
God damn it. All
XIU
right.
Shoo
Oh yeah.
Shoo.
There's another band called Shoo Shoo.
Yes.
Spelled it's SHU.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
But you mean XIU, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I linked my collection on the Discord.
Yeah, I was trying to scroll through it, but you have like 400 something stuff in there, and
Oh my.
Oh, that's
I
the
was,
collection. Go on the wish list.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not gonna find this today. Okay, wish list. Okay, sorry, keep going.
But yeah, I would say, well, the best way to describe that album is that Girl with Basket of Fruit is the closest I've ever heard to a panic attack put in music form.
Cool.
That's the only way I can describe the vocals. Where he even said himself like he wants it to sound like he's on the verge of a meltdown as he
Mhm.
sings. And I really think he nailed that feeling of you're listening to your best friend talk and you just notice they're slowly like freaking out.
Mm. Mhm.
And a lot of the subject matter is very heavy because it I can't spoil too much of it, but it's a very short album. It's like 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
But it's very much has a very straightforward theme and message the singer's trying to get across with each song. And I guess to give you the best example, there's one song called the shoot. Oh, yeah, Mary Turner, Mary Turner. So you can figure out what the rest of the album's about from that.
Right.
But yeah, a lot of people label it as shocking or nightmarish, or compare it more to David Lynch, where it has a very surreal quality to it.
Well, okay. Does it have qualities reminiscent of David Lynch's music or his filmography?
Ooh, better question.
Yeah,
I
think people
because he's better at one thing than the other.
Yeah.
Now listen to me, gentlemen. I will defend Johnny Has a Red Shirt. Johnny Has a Red Shirt. I play that at all my barbecues.
Johnny the Red Shirt slaps. Would you elaborate on that? No.
No. Oh man.
It sounds like the monkey eye voice.
My God.
But yeah.
Did anyone watch that besides me and Nick? I feel like me and Nick were the only ones who watched.
I don't know anyone else personally that watched it.
What part are we talking about right now?
What's the name of that movie? The film David Lynch did where he talks to a monkey. He interviews about a murder.
David Lynch interviews a monkey for
about murder.
Did he direct this film?
Wow.
He directs. He stars. He's the star.
Let me see.
Wow.
Yeah. There's on Netflix. There's a short film of David Lynch interviewing a monkey about a murder.
Yeah.
That's Well, I'm gonna look that up immediately. Wow. Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I would compare the album to David Lynch talking to that monkey.
Okay. Well, I think that's sonically what I'm looking for right now.
Yes. And that, and then I got into like some more ska music. So I got into like this all-female Korean band called Drinking Boys and Girls Choir. They have that album come out called Keep Drinking. And it actually had a really interesting history with it, where the album is pretty much the result of 3 members leaving their respective bands or like their respective fields to make this band. And the project itself is a lot of the funds go to a lot of shelters in Korea.
Yeah.
Okay.
For victims of abuse and or like that. And the album's really good, and it definitely inspired by like Sum 41 or early 2000s, but it takes a lot of the sound itself, not necessarily the singing.
Okay.
So there's more of a unique take because of it, because you have the very repetitive guitars and drums in a lot of these songs, but you have a unique like melodic, like almost soothing voice as the singing goes on.
Yeah.
They're really good.
Okay. Huh. And what was that band again?
Drinking Boys and Girls Choir. They have albums called Keep Drinking.
Okay.
I put the link on Discord. You can just check on the wish list. Everything I talk about.
Fantastic.
Just for you guys, not the viewers at home. No, you don't get to look at it. Don't look at it, please.
Viewers at home, just know how fucking tight this list. This is actually an amazing list. I'm looking through it right now, and it's
how come I don't
pretty
see the wish
comprehensive.
list? I just see the collection. What's up with that? What am I doing?
Well, there's collection, there's wish list, and then there's following, which a lot of it's automatic on Bandcamp.
There's collection, followers, following, and then artists, labels, / and then genres.
Wow, I am not getting that at all. Okay, maybe there.
It's probably different on each, but yeah, I have.
Maybe it's my browser. Maybe I'm using a different browser.
That's true. I mean, I'm using Mozilla.
I'm using Firefox as well.
I'm using Chrome. Aren't we a pair of 3? A pair of 3.
Oh. But I mean, you should be able to see the wish list at least.
Yeah, I'll figure this out later. Do this
right. Okay. But thank you, Ian.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's
but
good. Man.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, a lot of those bands sound like really up my alley. Like, check it
out. Oh yeah. And then I was telling Chris about this, Ian, because I know on previous episodes we talked about like a lot of dark synthwave, like that. There's this one metal band I think you would at least dig that put out a single called Neon Teeth. The band's called The Lion's Daughter, and the album's coming out in April, but they put out the single last month of this recording, so that'd be in January. And I would compare that. I compare it more to like Brendan Smalls types writing a metal.
Okay.
But it has like this kind of pop gothic like synth melody on top of it, just to keep the song like as like centered as possible while it goes like fucking crazy on drums.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's some of the stuff I've been listening to. Show wise, just been going through anime lists I had for a while. So I finished Chobits. I never got to see it when it came out back in 2002. Finished that. Man, that show is a lot darker than I remember. I remember I thought it was good. I guess I thought it was just gonna be another raunchy thing, like a very back then. But no, that show's a lot darker than I ever guessed. Man, it's crazy. Like Chobits in of itself is about like the rise of computers or like the fear of it.
Yeah.
As computers were becoming like a household thing.
Yeah.
And it's literally about a guy who's a farmer from fucking nowhere, and then moves into the big city and has to adjust to like technology and everything, and literally sees like these robot maids or like these robot helpers called Chobits, in walking alongside humans, kind of like Android, like an iRobot, that whole thing.
Yeah.
And
except they're hot anime girls.
I was just about to say, and I feel like you've been describing this in a way that avoids how horny this sounds. It sounds very horny.
It's funny because like that's the first thing they bring up, because he literally walks like across a sex shop, and like that's literally the first thing is like the robots wearing all the lingerie fetish like gear.
Right.
Okay. I feel like in this day and age you have to address it.
It's the robot chicken sketch of classic truth. I've designed the first robot that can think, talk, and move on its own.
Yeah.
Any questions? Can you fuck it? Can you fuck the machine?
Yeah. You put your dick in that toaster. Which slot? That's the question. Yeah. No. It was crazy. Like there's one story that's about his roommate when he moves into his apartment, who has his own Chobits, or like his own robot helper. Yeah. But they have him pocket sized, like in his pocket. So
oh my god!
And it has, it does everything a phone does, where it's like the calendar, what time it is, manage your schedule, and you find out that he's been sleeping with the main character's teacher at the college that they're going to.
Okay.
Because the teacher's husband got addicted to the robots and locked himself in their apartment, so she was walking on the streets for a long time. And then
Wait, what do you mean walking on the streets for a long time?
She walked a single sidewalk for weeks. No, I'm just kidding. No, she
because that's what I'm picturing.
Woman of the night.
Woman of the night. There you go. Okay.
I see.
No, she was nearly homeless. Is the short answer.
Gotcha.
I see.
Yeah. But yeah, there's that storyline. There's the actual creator of Chobits, the creator of the models, who's about 16 at the time. Yeah, he was put as 16, like a teenager. Lives in a big mansion. He has like 8 of them around him all the time. All women, of course. All women robots. And they all have the crazy like BDSM lingerie.
Sure.
And then like his personal personal Persicom, which is the name he gives them. He modeled the first one he ever made after his older sister.
Oh,
Away.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Don't like that.
See, and what's funny is that's actually the first response even the main character had of like, oh, he's into that.
It's I mean, it's real hard not to go there right away. It's just because of all of the stuff around it. So hard not to.
Mm-hmm.
It's
So what's the twist here, man? Because it sounds like, because I know you've talked to me about this, but like hearing you list it again really makes it seem like you watch porn.
Sounds really, really, really pervy, but I'm sure it's got a depth to it.
Well, it is an ecchi comedy, so yeah, everything will it's like on the edge.
Yeah.
But it's pretty jarring to see how that show was like back then considered raunchy, where nowadays like it's completely like nothing. It's tame, like compared to crazy shit coming out now.
You're telling me we're broken? Is what you're you're kidding?
Motherfucker, we talked about Interspecies Reviewer with a man.
You talked about it. I didn't talk about anything.
You listen. You listen now.
Listen, I'm going to talk about bird porn now.
Yeah,
voyeurism. I'm going to watch that thing lay an egg.
And eat it.
Oh.
Mother-daughter omelet has a new...
Oh, yeah. Even I was like, I gotta turn this off.
I mean, listen, I know what that is. That's a real thing, and it's delicious, but also,
I know, now I just call it that every time. I didn't see it. Ever since I heard that name.
Yeah. But yeah, watch that. Yes, I watched Interspecies Reviewers. No. I finished watching Melancholy of Suzumiya Haruhi.
Oh.
I haven't, all shows I didn't see back when they were coming out.
What did you take away from the first season? What did you think?
No. Oh, the first season? Do you want to talk about... Wait, have you seen it?
I've seen the whole thing, but I honestly remember season 1 better because I remember season 2 kind of being intolerable.
Why? Oh, because Endless 8 or...
Yeah, because of the 8 episodes that are identical over and over again.
Well, I mean, they're slightly varied, but yeah, it's not enough to...
Well, they're like when you watch it, like the first time I watched it, and I watched the first 3 of those 8 episodes, I just thought like, okay, they've saved a lot of money because there are whole stretches of this that are just identical animation. It's just the same cell of animation repeated,
like different clothing, different.
Right, it's just slightly different.
Yeah,
and I was like,
"That's what you got to do."
Oh, I remember even the English voice actors getting sick of it, to the point that Johnny Young Bosch asked, "Hey, what if we switched our voiceover roles? Like I would voice one of the girl characters, or one of them can voice my character." And they, of course, they immediately got shut down. But
right.
You know, it's funny because I would compare that. Well, real quick, Ian, did you watch it in the original airing order, or did you watch it in that chronological order?
I remember there being a real specificity about the season 1 order, so I think I watched the little like movie within the show first, and then I watched it, and then I watched the rest of it as was suggested on Wikipedia at the time.
Yeah, because what made it confusing was that it had a original airing order that structures it and like it has a point to make, but when the Blu-rays were coming out, they decided to put it all in chronological order, story-wise, rather than original airing. So when you watch it, like literally makes no sense. Like even the first and second season.
Okay.
Wait, what doesn't make sense? The original air order or the chronological?
The chronological, where like they, you know, it's like if you watch Pulp Fiction in order, like those YouTube edits. It doesn't have the same impact than if you watch it
because you have certain info.
Yeah.
Exactly, and in addition, like the last episode in the airing order is trying to make a point about about what people can easily like gullibility, believability, or like trying to make your life more than what it is for the sake of like conspiracy, and then how much believing in the supernatural or paranormal can like is a lot of it's the result of people isolated from their everyday life, trying to find meaning through seeing life more than what it is.
Yeah.
And the dramatic irony being that those things are real, but they don't care if aliens are real or not. It's about the fact that they know something that other people don't, or they feel that validation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to me, that was way more interesting than when I was being told the show's funny or the show's like
yeah.
silly.
That's how I was always told about the show, is that it's funny.
I mean, there's good moments. There's legit like good.
It's hilarious, even.
But I would say I think the writing and the characters like interactions with each other was more interesting to me versus the humor of it. To me, like the comedy was like way in the back of my mind the entire time I was watching it. But yeah,
you
that
know it
show's
has
good.
Oh, sorry, finish.
No, I'm good. That's it.
All right, my bad.
What was that?
All I want to say is, did you know it has like 7 games,
Why?
including a
How?
mahjong video game?
Mahjong video game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
all
still
right.
going.
All in Japan. You can't get it here.
Are the books all finished for that series? Because I know it's based on a book series.
I mean,
yes. It's light novels. Light novels.
Is it light novels? I'm not even looking at.
It started as it started as a book. Yeah, it started as light novels, and then manga, then anime.
Oh, the magazine. It started as short stories in the magazine. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then manga.
And what's funny is that the Endless Eight in itself is written like in 2 or 3 paragraphs, but the show stretched it to like an actual 8 days.
Yeah.
Damn. No,
so
that's good script writing.
So here's my hot take, Ian.
Yeah, it guarantees him a full season of pay.
Yeah,
that's true.
Here's my hot take, Ian. I liked it.
Oh?
I liked Endless 8.
Okay.
I don't know what Endless 8 is.
Right.
Are you supposed to not like it?
It's not easily likable, in my opinion. I think it's like something very particular. I mean, like if you really admire the craft of what they're doing, of just watching people, it's a well animated show. It really is like narratively, you're watching the same story for 8 half-hour episodes.
Okay.
Where the dialogue is almost the same every single time.
The Endless Summer.
Yeah. Boy.
But I mean, it does make its point.
No, it makes a great point, and here's what I can say, and the despair that young boy feels at the end of every because at the end of every half hour, he realizes what's going on.
Yeah.
It gets grimmer and grimmer and grimmer every time.
Yeah, and it literally only repeats because he doesn't find any value in his life, because he doesn't think his life is worth like saving. So it just repeats because he doesn't try to change it. Doesn't try anything. He can live his life in that loop, and there won't be any like risk in his life if he stays there. But because he found the value and importance of living his life or doing things he may not always enjoy, he was able to say, "Oh, I have summer homework I need to finish because I need to get good grades in my class to go to college." That's how it ended.
And summer homework's such bullshit, though.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you.
It is.
Fuck
It
you
is
for trying to
bullshit.
take my time.
How dare you?
But yeah, that was good.
That sounds better. It sounds better than anyone else has ever told me about the show. So
yeah, thank you. Oh yeah, and also
you're
like
welcome.
they have a like like I said before, and like Ian talked about, the whole movie in it is like awesome. I loved it. I love the whole process they had for the whole movie, and for the fake school project they made. It looks like everyone's like high school project they think is genius at the time, and then you rewatch it.
It's intolerable. It's very good in that. Yeah, it captures that like 16-year-old with a camera doing their first.
This can only take away from society. It cannot add.
A lot happened. Very little was gained. But yeah, I did that. I started my rewatch of the Monogatari series because I caught up reading the books because they in English like they all been translated and released now. So I read all of them and then I started rewatching the show. Boy, that show is completely different when you know the context of what's going through the main character's mind as he does certain actions, rather than just relying on what you're seeing on in the show.
Would you say that his characterization is different?
You know what? It's more like you understand more of his reasoning for his actions. Um, if you have when you read the books, because in the book, like it's all through his perspective, and it's also like you get like all the dialogue and all his thought process. So yeah, it definitely improves it, and it's not too drastic, but it definitely like enhances it.
Okay.
You know what's funny? Every interview or review I've seen of the show is I love the show. I think the worst character in the show is the main character. But then I read the book and he's my favorite character now in the entire show.
Okay. Yeah.
It's that much.
Okay.
And well, I remember Ian, we talked about when you watched the original like Bakemono, like the first season.
Yes. Yes.
And there was a thing of like all you remember like all the cutaways and they had like the single line of dialogue.
I do.
Yeah. So that was supposed to be the studio's way of finding a workaround of those huge, giant monologues he would go off on in his head. And then they would try to summarize it in a sentence or two.
Okay.
That's why there was a lot of those those shots.
Kind of giving a little bit of an internal glimpse through the medium.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, now it's like that show became one of my favorites of all time now.
Okay.
Rewatching it, I will say I end up relating a lot more to certain characters versus the ones I thought I would like more. Like there were some characters that at the time when I'm first reacting to the show, I thought, oh man, I really love this character. But then I think now that I'm rewatching it with the context of the books, it's like, oh man, this character actually I like way more now. Like when people read the books of what Snape did in Harry Potter, right? Like it's like that.
Okay.
Maybe not that dramatic, but yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that was my week.
Okay.
Oh, right on. Well, like 2 months, but like
2 months.
Who's counting?
Who's counting?
But yeah, if you can see the wish list, Ian.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna look through that too, as well.
I'm probably going to end up when I'm gonna cook dinner tonight, so I'll probably be I'll turn some of that on while I'm in the kitchen. Just give it a listen.
And if you do want to support him and buy it, the next Bandcamp Friday will be the first Friday of March, which means I don't know if you know what that means, but that 100% of everything bought goes directly to the artist rather than Bandcamp taking a certain amount.
Oh wow! Okay.
So that's why I usually wait for Bandcamp Fridays to buy stuff.
All right, nice. All right.
Very good, mate.
Okay.
Crikey!
Chris, what are you doing?
What am I doing?
Yeah, what are you doing, man?
I was gonna leave it to Ian, but like,
Oh,
shoot, I was looking up all the stuff you were looking at. That way I can try to.
oh, sorry.
I could go. I could go if you want.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna put together my thoughts. What I do.
So,
not that.
busy days. Busy days.
Maybe.
I'll start off with what I've been reading lately.
Reading.
Mm-hmm.
Nasty.
You're telling me you read a story.
I did. I read prose.
Damn.
All of it.
I didn't like his voice. I liked the plot. I didn't like his voice.
Man, his voice in my head sucks.
They're pros. Unabashful.
So I'll start with I read a classic recently that I've never gotten around to.
War and Peace. Fucking.
And boy, the Russians sure know how to party, right, guys?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, big time. Oh hey, you ever see that someone was posting around that quote from, I forgot who the composer is. Is it Tchaikovsky? Or it's whoever was around Dostoevsky's time. It was the big classic classical musician.
Stravinsky, maybe.
And he had met Tolstoy for the first time, and all Tolstoy did was talk about how much that musician's music was better than like Beethoven's and like Bach's, and putting down all those artists.
Sure.
Even though that famous musician was like, "Oh, those were my inspirations," but I'm not gonna tell Tolstoy. Like,
why don't you fuck off, Tolstoy? God,
just being a real bad fanboy to this guy. Oh, I love it.
Those guys, they don't get music the way you do.
You do.
Like, just you and I. Oh my god.
Your music is so much better than everyone else's.
Honestly, dog shit. Am I right?
In fact, let's take the time and break down why your fellow musicians and your inspirations are shit. Let's just pontificate.
To start with, none of them Russian. Not a one. Ugh, garbage. So I just finished the book Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Oh, have you guys read that one? I never read it before.
Nah, it's on my. It's one of the few. It's like I've been trying to go through Octavia Butler whenever I can, but that's been a slow process since I started reading her stuff. She's amazing though.
She's astounding. Yeah. So good. So good.
Right? Like, I'm sorry, because I did finish reading both books last year.
Nice.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so yeah, that's awesome. What'd you think?
Well, I was so excited. Actually, I want to ask you a quick question before I get into it.
Okay.
I want to ask. So when I finished this book, I was so excited to order the sequel.
Parable of Talents.
It's Parable of the Talents. I want to know this because I know that Octavia unfortunately passed away quite early in her life.
Yeah.
Before she could do a third, she wanted to do a third parable apparently.
Yes.
So tell me this, in your opinion, when I finish the sequel, am I going to just be kind of like, oh fuck, I really need that third book. I really need that book that's not coming. Or will I be able to read the second one and be like, okay, it would be nice to have more, but that was a nice, satisfying meal.
Yeah.
To wrap it up.
How
did you feel? Yeah, exactly.
You know, with things like that, I would probably compare those feelings to when I found out that Vagabond was never going to come out.
Right.
But when I think about like the experience I had reading it, and think about what exactly like the impact it had in my own life and how much like I found myself relating to a lot of the things that Vagabond, or in this case, the main character for the Parable series,
Mm-hmm.
that I felt as I read both books.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's one of those things where I want more. There's that innate like I want more because I love this thing,
Yeah.
but I also understand. So out of respect, I'm gonna be satisfied, or I'm just gonna leave it and accept it.
Right.
So I think if you love this book, because I think the second book is like takes it to another level.
Oh
Personally,
wow. Okay.
story. Yeah, oh yeah. But
Oh yeah.
the
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's all I can say. Nick's spoiler cast. Oh yeah, oh, shit.
It's good.
It's good. So good. Makes my brain juice. Bubble.
Jesus Christ. Uh,
But yeah, I think that's where I would be. I wouldn't be. It definitely won't be like a. Oh, it's like such a big cliffhanger. You'll want something more and feel like cheaped out
right.
or blue balled. It won't be
Right.
that. It'll be more like, yeah, there definitely is more going on, but I will leave it at that.
Okay. Okay. Because honestly, that's how I felt at the end of this book. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
there's definitely more to come for these characters, but this if Octavia had never even written a sequel, like what a beautiful way to close out that story anyway.
Oh, there's a graphic
Okay.
novel adaptation.
Oh,
Yeah.
is there?
Yeah. Look at
Oh
that.
wow.
Who does it? Damien Duffy.
I mean,
Ooh, the
might be
art's
a
pretty
might
fucking cool.
Hmm.
It's pretty rad. Okay, sorry, I'm just looking at this stuff because I was looking at like how much would it be for me to buy a copy?
For sure. So do you mind if I kind of give like a background to it? I'm not going to spoil the
Yeah,
book,
go
but
for it,
just
go for
kind
it.
of
This
idea.
is on my plan to read anyway, so.
The book follows kind of county in the 2020s, where society has more or less collapsed completely. Um, the federal government is really a non-presence outside of the military. There's just really it's just kind of rampant lawlessness,
Yeah.
poverty, unemployment, lack of resources, lack of food.
Mm-hmm.
Whole neighborhoods are walled off for protection from marauding bands of just like thieves and bandits.
Mm-hmm.
Most people who actually can make a living are in some kind of drug trade.
Yeah.
Uh, there's a new drug that's described very much like ecstasy, except that it also gives people a compulsion to set fires.
Sick.
Uh, uh, it's a and then the story essentially follows this young girl from age 16 to 18 in this world, just after the collapse of San Diego and Los Angeles. Her name is Lauren, and she's a preacher's daughter, and she kind of sets up what residential life is like in this part of California's future. Um, Whatever has happened. Oh, also I forgot there's a series of pandemics that are happening simultaneously
Sick.
because everyone's immune system is failing.
Sick.
Also it doesn't help that most people are starving, and the police, of course, are just a force of terror that basically randomly punish anybody in their sight.
Okay.
And it's like, God, 1993, calm down. Like, what do you guys think's gonna happen? But
Who would have
I
thunk
don't.
it?
Who could imagine? Can I also say, like, I was reading this book in my car. Like, I'd go out
Oh, sick.
for like an afternoon read, and in my part of LA, I mean, pandemic is a lot better now, but in my part of LA, you there was quite a lot of emergency services that week. So
Yeah.
as I'm reading about like, oh, and then everything caught fire and the police killed everyone, and I just hear like sirens in the background. I was like, I don't know if this is the tone I want to set for myself today. I don't like. Um,
This is I don't know if I want to go through this ride right now.
Exactly. It's and then kind of things escalate from there. Essentially, that's kind of the starting point. Is essentially, Lauren is ostracized from a lot of other children. Firstly, because she's the preacher's daughter, but secondly, because she is kind of so focused on survivalist tactics, survivalist information, makes everybody around her, if not frightened, angry, just because the fact that she is so concerned makes them feel guilty for not constantly being so concerned, I guess.
Yeah, fuck.
People would rather just pretend everything is okay than actually accept
than
what's
have
going
someone
on.
care for them.
Right. And so
damn, that's real shit.
Can't relate to that. Can't relate to that.
That's gonna be a tough ass read for me. I'm gonna tell you what. Like,
yeah.
But that's why I like her books. There's no punches held.
I mean, when you get it's about a 300-page novel. When you get to be about 120 pages in, you just realize like every evil sorry, you realize that like every evil thing that could happen is what this society is. Like it is a society of injustice, of corruption, of violence, of famine, of ignorance, and it is just like, Jesus Christ, fuck me. It's an amazing book, and I really do like that it. I mean, another thing that it handles is the conceptions of race bleeding over into class, bleeding over into gender. It talks about these things in a really thoughtful way, I think. In ways I don't feel like I should really spoil for you. It's just fun to kind of have them on your own terms. But
no, for sure. Yeah, again, it's on the list.
And also that the sci-fi elements of it are so subtle. It's really grounded, and just it barely kind of stretches into what is science fiction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Big recommend, obviously. I think anybody who reads it will find it a great time.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's one. That'll be one.
Gotcha.
Another book that I've been reading is called Independence. It's a novel by Sarah Lodpo Manyaka, who's a Nigerian author. I'd read her previous novel, which was about a retired woman finding love in San Francisco, which was a surprisingly charming book. A really pleasant characters that really kind of pulled you in. And in Independence, Sarah kind of does it again. She writes such grounded characters that are so relatable and so just like, oh wow, really empathetic characters, I think. So this other book, Independence, is about.
By the way, for everyone at home, that's in and then dependence, two separate words.
That's right. As if two separate words.
Yeah.
As in within a dependent state.
Yes.
And the book is about the recent liberation of Nigeria from colonial rule of England. And the story follows Oyo, who is top of his class, and then at 17, I believe, he gets sent to London to go to a private school to get a higher education.
Yeah.
And while he's at university, he then enters in a bit of a love triangle. But one of the women he's interested in is also a Nigerian national, and the other woman is the daughter of a colonial soldier.
Damn.
Yeah.
Not a pick.
Yeah. And so I won't spoil the book. It's just kind of a fun book to read. A lot of it, there's long stretches of it that are letters between Oyo and his family, or Oyo and the women he is interested in.
Yeah.
There's a scene that is amazing, and it's so strange to think about, like the recent history of, recent history of America, recent history of England. How a world apart it feels, but this book is basically set in the 70s. There's a scene where Oyo gets invited by his British girlfriend to a party at her house around Christmas time, and Oyo gets to meet her family. And Oyo is the only person of color who is not a servant at the event. One.
Sick.
And two, there's like this really long passage where her grandfather basically like talks their ear off about, like, India was better when it used to be English.
There you go.
Yeah. And it's a really great book. I know that I'm painting it as a pretty stern and stuffy thing, but it's a very funny, charming book that's mostly about young people being young and charming together. And kind of a lot of it is about, when you're a young person, you have to kind of find your identity, and
you better be charming.
You better be charming as shit.
Otherwise, you ain't gonna make it.
And then it kind of compares it to a young country finding an identity, and what does that mean for the individual people, and how a lot of people want to be like, well, we're kind of British, but we've got a lot of history that isn't that, or what is our future going to be, et cetera, et cetera. It's a really interesting book. She writes great characters. I highly recommend that book.
That is reminiscent of just real quick, it is reminiscent of Jamaica Kincaid, in the sense that I forgot what essay it was, but it was her talking about her home country and how, like, there was this problem of finding their identity after colonialism. And just how the leaps and bounds some people would go to deny they were ever colonized in the first place.
Oh yeah.
And just the big problem of that.
It's
like
it's also really
into like tribalism level.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's really weird, just because even today, I think that there are places in parts of Africa who are still kind of rehashing this conversation. 40 years later, 40, 50 years later, about people who were loyalist to monarchies that came in, or people who were like, no, this faction of this group is what we are, or we should be looking back to pre-colonial ancient societies, and that conversation is well far from over, I think, for a lot of folks.
Whole departments of universities and countries are dedicated to that. You are not going to hear any solid answers from these three chuckle fucks.
Do you remember the Monty Python's joke about about Hong Kong? They had a joke in one of their movies about going to private. They went to all the kids in the private school, and they're like talking about some kind of monument to the soldiers who were veterans, and but the way they phrased it was, we keep that sacred place to remember the brave men who died making sure China stayed British. And if you can
That's pretty good.
And then I'll just mention one other book. I'm only halfway through. I'm just finishing up right now. It's a book called They Could Have Named Her Anything. It's by a writer, Stephanie Jimenez. She's a Dominican from New York City. And the book is so far seems to be kind of a your stock and standard coming of age story. Again, a lot of good discussion about who am I, what am I doing, but it's a little more close to home, just in that this is it's also weird to me. This book is set in the 2000s.
Okay.
And it's a period piece thereby, and that's
I hate it.
wrong. I hate it.
No, I don't know if I want to read it anymore. Listen, I've said it once. I've said it before. Looking back, the 2000s sucked ass. I don't know why. When nostalgia could be garnered from that.
Those drone strikes take me back.
Those, boy, howdy. You guys remember the first time we showed up in Libya? You remember? That was a magical time.
Okay, we're gonna get a video game that brings up 6 Nights in Fallujah. So.
Jesus.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So don't worry though. Hey, they made sure it has no political commentary.
Yeah, it's not a political game.
If I had to explain what the movie was about, I'd say it was, we killed a lot of foreigners and it made me very sad. So that's...
Look, man, they'll get the right hospital eventually.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, that was the worst one. Okay, that's a line.
Listen, what these are long-winded ways of saying the 2000s were fucked. The 80s were also fucked, but a lot of people have colored your eyes into believing it was just all malls and happiness and music.
Oh, hell
well,
no.
It's also people who think that the 60s was just a fun rock show.
Oh yeah.
And
Charles Manson it was.
That joke was just for me. Fuck everyone who just laughed at it.
Now there's no line in that. I refuse to.
Oh
god.
Oh man. Anyway. The aughts was a fucking rough time, and being a young lady sounds hard during any time based on what these 2 last books I've read are.
Oh man, you should listen to Shoo Shoo. Girl with a Fruit Basket. It's that, but times 10.
Jesus Christ! It's
but now.
But now, yes.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna pull up the Bandcamp after this when I start cooking.
All right, I'm sorry, Ian. I just have to get out my daily 2000 sucked ass.
It's all right, man.
Right. So They Could Have Named Her Anything by Stephanie Jimenez.
It's really well done prose thus far. It seems to be kind of a situation of this girl who thinks that she wants popularity, and the thing is, she keeps doing all the right things, and she keeps technically getting the thing that should make you happy.
Yes.
And then it just seems like it's sure not what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, the first 2 pages is her losing her virginity with her parents next door in the room over.
Sick.
And yeah, real fun stuff.
Like kids.
Yeah, you know.
Kill 6 Billion Demons starts out that way, so
Yeah.
That's when you know the book's gonna be good.
Well, the kids. I know the movie Kids. The first scene is the 2 teenagers, right? They sleep in they both have sex, and then the whole story is about how he gave her STDs and was trying to call her.
Right.
See, 3 amazing movies that start off, or 3 amazing stories.
So if you guys want in on that, hey, time to move.
Actually, that is very familiar. That is very similar to Kill 6 Billion Demons and how it starts, because they both are trying to obtain popularity, or at least what it means to be, quote unquote normal.
Yeah.
And idealized.
Right.
Interesting.
And then like the title of the book comes from her making friends with like the popular girl at school.
Okay.
And instead of calling her Maria, she's like, I feel like you're an Ashley. And so like they literally just give her some different
Sick.
So I don't know. Hey, that seems like there's probably commentary coming, but a really
like
pleasant
it's trying
book.
to say something.
I feel like it's kind of, I don't know what it's driving at exactly, guys, but I'm gonna so those are the books that I read this month.
Okay.
I do have some TV I really want to talk to you guys about.
Yeah. Maybe some of ours overlap in case you watch the new stuff. So.
I did watch the new WandaVision. Are you guys caught up on it?
No, we're actually about to watch it tonight.
Damn. Okay, then I won't talk about that.
Yeah. We should do a full spoiler thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm digging the show.
I would also like to talk about like some of the inspirations it pulled from, since it's pulled from a lot of my favorite writing that Marvel did, you know, when they still had a lot of those writers at the time.
And then me and Ian can talk about because we said it last time. I don't know if I told you this line, Nick, but it's how it's sort of like, and this is gonna sound super condescending, but I mean this in like the nicest way possible. It's Baby's first Wham City comedy like series, David Lynchian, in the sense, especially in the first episodes where there's something going on under.
Okay.
That's more and more sinister.
Smiles plastered over horror.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
And a very surreal existential horror.
It's a very like European horror from the 70s, just like, even though there's nothing violent necessarily happening, it just feels like something is fundamentally wrong happening. Yeah.
And the tricks you see are kind of the same tricks that those directors and writers do. So just again, it's a lot easier to figure
out. I do want Nick to sit with this question, which I've been puzzling over. It's who's gonna play Bova? Do you guys think? You think they're gonna do that? Oh my god! Perfect casting.
That Carrot Top. He just run up to Wanda and be like, "Hey, did you see my new special?"
I'm a cow woman.
I kind of want that.
I'm a cow woman. Hey, have you seen my new special? Wanda, have you seen it?
Because we got to the Brady Bunch era. So what's next? Is it Married with Children? Is Married with Children next?
No. You guys want to know what the reference is?
No, dude, we're just gonna. Oh no! Don't tell me. But I just like having the fun.
Okay.
It might be they're keeping up with the family thing, right? So Family Matters, that's 90s, or like Fresh Prince.
Like that's like late 80s.
Like late 80s.
Yeah. Late 80s, yeah, that's true. Fresh Prince is 90s.
Fresh Prince is 90s.
And it really does seem like we're going by decade here, but they're all family oriented. So we're not going to get my Cheers or any of that. We missed MASH. And after MASH.
Well, after that would have been on brand at least.
Gilligan Goes to Miami. We missed that.
No matter.
Nobody. Oh wow, they didn't even do Kojak, you guys.
They didn't even do Kojak or Airwolf.
A Gumshoe.
Heart to Heart. Where's Heart to Heart?
Dude, people forget how many sitcoms I watched growing up. Like every time I bust out my sitcom knowledge.
Oh man, I love Columbo.
Columbo's not a sitcom, dude. That's a procedural detective thing.
One last thing before I go. I don't think this show is a sitcom.
Fuck, you turned into a robot.
With the fucking Opie and Anthony fucking collar microphone. You fucking peaked right there. You spiked that audio. Hey Anthony, so I wanna call you and say, man, I agree with you, but why you gotta keep bringing up that race? You gotta calm down.
It's weird, right?
Maybe since things are being little bit more evil and sinister. Maybe we'll get Married with Children, where they're both mean to each other. Yeah. That one's wild. Like, listen, they're all great actors on that show. Yeah. It's just that, like, the show itself is just about a couple who hates each other and, like,
it hates their children.
Yeah,
that's funny.
And how it doesn't end it, like, it really does enforce the we didn't marry for love. Like, this isn't.
Good hustle.
I think, like, I happened to catch the last episode of that show. I happened.
It's funny. Don't get me wrong. It's funny.
Like, there's a whole scene that is just back and forth. You used to be hot, and then you settled for me because you weren't hot anymore. Oh my god!
And that's real, but fuck, that's mean. Like, that's a mean thing to say.
Well, that's like the 1985 Bowling for Soup song. That's what it was about.
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
That's not true.
That classic song of our youth.
So I guess
Ian, we should just talk about
Bowling for Soup for TV.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like that. I like that. It's Bowling for Soup, but for TV.
Yeah.
And
like we're alienating people now. I don't.
No. We are. This is the birth of a new series where we all break down Married with Children, and why it was funny, but also so fucked up at the time.
I know. It's the Dark Souls of Full House.
It's such a fucked up show.
Yeah. They got a foreign exchange student to live in a garage that they did not insulate.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Anthrax shows up one episode. Yeah. By the way, Scott Ian has said he was like a huge fan of the show, so he couldn't wait to be on that show.
I thought you meant the drug.
It was either him or Frank
showed up
Bello
on the show.
No, they all show up. They're all there. It's Dinner with Anthrax.
Okay.
Is the episode. I've watched the episode.
Okay.
And they're all sitting there in the living room. And they're all like, "Where's the food?" And there's no food. That's the whole plot. That's the whole B plot for that show. It's not even the A plot. Anthrax is B plot in that episode, and the plot is we don't have food.
Jesus Christ!
And they all just keep sitting there and I think they finally get pizza or something. And then once Anthrax is fed, they just trash the house because that's what they needed. They needed fuel.
That's what Anthrax does.
That show's wild, dude. We should all watch Married with Children. This is birth of a new series, a 1 hour per week.
We're watching 2 episodes every week of Married
with Children.
Can I tell you what my favorite joke is from that whole show?
Go for it.
Is when the daughter gets married and she becomes Marcy Darcy, because that's the stupidest shit ever. That's just it's 5 years of buildup so someone can have a silly name.
That's right.
That's it. Yeah,
but to be fair, that's like a joke me and you would do.
Oh yeah, no. Don't get me wrong. That is something I would do. Yeah. Glee.
Like just huge build up to a very stupid joke that only we find funny.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's how you know it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you know it's real.
Because we know comedy. So, you know.
You guys, I wrote that pterodactyl joke knowing only 2 people would think it's funny. That's how I know it's real comedy.
God damn it.
So I'm gonna mention another show then.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're right. And it's honestly like some. Can I tell you guys? I didn't have a high expectation for the show.
Okay.
Because it's on Shudder.
Okay.
And I'm being a snob. Okay. Shame on me. I watched the show Creepshow series.
I remember that they were bringing that back, and it made me almost buy Shudder. Like,
I'll tell you guys, it's worth it.
Is it?
It's worth it,
dude. I want to watch it.
Even if you guys go get it for a month and just binge Creepshow.
Yeah.
It's a really good show, guys.
Damn it.
I'm gonna
it's
do
like
it.
Twilight Zone. Like, I feel like I'm missing it. You know.
The Twilight Zone was pretty good too. I'm gonna do a tease for one of the stories that kind of sold me on it.
Yeah.
I won't spoil it, but I'll just, so each episode of Creepshow is 2 half-hour segments.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 8 episodes, so you get 16 stories, and all of them are bookended by the Creeper from the comic book.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Cool.
The very first episode is an adaptation of a Stephen King short story.
Also, these are actual stories.
These a lot of these are based apparently on like short fiction.
Yeah, sorry, that's
adapted.
what I mean. They're all real stories. What I mean is like
right.
they're based off like pre like stories that have already been written.
Yes, that's correct.
They're adaptations. That's the word.
Adaptations.
Fucking nailed it.
So the first one, excellent. It starts off with a Stephen King, and it's like a B monster movie story set in a New England town. Hard to go wrong. Oh my god! By the way, the cast they have in this show, amazing. They got the guy who's fucking the Jigsaw killer. He's in this.
Nice. He's like the best part of those movies.
Got Gustavo Fring from Breaking Bad. He's in this.
You know what's the best part about the guy who plays the Jigsaw killer? The old man?
Mm-hmm.
Is that he can play just a regular old man.
Yeah, he's got he's got that range.
Like he's just like if you just put on like a hat, if he just puts on a hat and a coat and you let him act, he looks like he can just play just a regular old timer, and that's what makes it like way more menacing.
Well, yeah, that he can kind of turn on a dime. Yeah. Absolutely.
Anyway, go on.
Trying to think. I mean, this show is chock-a-block. They've got great casting. So that
I'm
alone,
sure a lot of people want it to be part of Creepshow. Like,
I mean, man, that's a legacy. That's a legacy to be part of. So the episode 1, part B, is the story that kind of tripped me out, and I'm going to give you the intro to it.
Gotcha.
Which is the main character is an 8-year-old girl, and the biggest surprise is, hey, guess what? This girl knows how to act. She knows how to act the hell out of this. She's carrying the whole story. She's like the main person you're spending most of the time with.
And you know who doesn't know how to act? Those kids from WandaVision.
Yeah, they're pretty. I mean, they're sitcom-y. They're broad.
So that was my final take. Was like, yeah, I think Nick brought me back to earth because I was watching it with him and like my sister, and like and I was just like, oh my god, these kids are bad. Like these, this is, well, you know what? I don't know if they're bad actors or that was just a bad performance. But if it's like to fit the sitcom thing, yeah, then it's perfect. Then keep it in.
Wait till you catch up, and you'll get to see a little bit more, and you'll see like, oh, they're leaning into this.
Okay,
they're leaning into this.
Good, because those young kids were just, oh my god, oh my god. If it was on purpose, if those kids were doing it on purpose, so then they're the best actors I've seen in like a long time.
Little stars, you guys. So the story is called Head of the House.
Okay.
And story follows this young girl, and her pet project is her parents have spoiled this girl rotten by giving her a big ass dollhouse, like a dollhouse roughly the size of her body, if not larger.
Damn. Those kind of like G.I. Joe fortresses. You're like, I don't even like G.I. Joe, but I want one.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Damn it.
Terrifying.
Okay, cool. Terrifying.
So she's playing with her dolls, and she's got a cute little family of 3: mom, dad, son, and dog.
Yeah.
And one night while she's playing with her dolls, she notices that there's just this gross maquette, like a little doll of a rotting severed head in her dollhouse.
Okay.
And she's like, that's weird.
The fuck is that?
That doesn't belong here. And then when she goes to pick it up, she
8 and
like,
up, huh?
huh?
No, that's for age rating on the toy.
Oh yeah. Uh, she
That
like
should have
pulls her
been the
finger.
name of the episode. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
And her hand has blood on it, like the doll actually bleeds.
Fuck. Okay.
And she's like, ugh, I don't know, thank you. And then when she checks in on her little dolls again, and like the husband and wife are hiding under the bed sheets in the master bedroom, and the little boy is like hiding in the bathtub, like clearly frightened.
Yeah.
Of something that's in the living room. She's like, well, this won't do. So she then goes to the doll store with her mother, like it's like a bespoke shop that carves handmade furniture and dolls for like rich people.
Okay.
And she says she basically picks out a policeman doll from the shop. And then there's this very good conversation between her mom and the shopkeep. Basically, he's like, oh, you know, psychologists say that play is how most children come to understand the world around them. And usually dolls are a great way for children to work out social roles that people play in life, or that they're going to play in life. And she's like, oh, really? Like, what do you mean? And the doll maker is like, well, you know, kids, you know, they're cagey. They probably aren't going to actually talk about what it is that's going on in their head. You just kind of have to let them work it out on their own and trust that they're figuring it out. So she brings the cop back to the house, and eventually she finds every time she checks on them, the family is huddled together in the living room, and the policeman has a gun and a flashlight drawn and is periodically being posed around the house every time she checks, trying to find where the head is.
Fuck.
And then like a few nights later, her parents, who feel like she's too absorbed in the doll play, make her watch a movie. She comes upstairs, and the police officer is at the bottom of the stairs, and his head is gone, and there's just blood all over the stairs. And I at that point was like, I don't know where this story is fucking going.
Yeah,
like,
now I don't know.
Where is this going now? Anyway, you guys should watch it. It's real good.
God damn it. Yeah, I'm gonna look into the Shutter prices again.
And it's only like $5 a month, I think, for Shutter.
Oh wow, that's cheap. Well, it's just horror movies. Like it's only horror movies, so.
Yeah, it's only horror. But there's some movies in there that I would also recommend. So like, I haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna probably sit down this week. There's a Mexican film called La Llorona.
Yes, I did hear about. Like, was it that one that came out in the U.S. not that long ago, like a couple years ago?
It's not the one with James Wan producing.
Okay, because I wanted that movie to be good, and then everyone told me don't even bother.
No, that movie is like set in LA in the 70s, and it's kind of hokey, from what I understand. But this movie called La Llorona is made by a Mexican film production company, and it's a
what? Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
And that movie is basically about apparently La Llorona, and also the family of like the influential family of political fixers who are manipulating the Mexican government.
Cool.
I didn't know this. I'm slightly illiterate about Mexican politics, but it's related to the fact that one political party ruled the presidential office for like 80 years in Mexico.
Yes. That I actually found out recently too, so you're not even alone on that.
And so yeah, it looks really interesting. And that's also on Shudder. I'm gonna watch that, and I'll report back when I see it.
Sounds better than what we got over here in the
Oh my god. Yeah. So that's been my month, guys. What about you, Chris?
Yeah. So this is something I think me and Nick can both attest to, because I just want to talk about this show, like right out of the gate. Since we were talking about TV. We saw the new Craig McCracken series.
Space Boy or something?
Space Boy Cosmic.
That's it. How was
or
it?
no, Kid Cosmic, my bad.
Kid Cosmic.
Yo, Craig McCracken knows how to make a fucking cartoon. Is what I say.
Yeah, it might be my favorite work from him.
That's all. That's a big statement, man.
That's a big big britches you're wearing.
That's Powerpuff Girls. That's Foster's.
Yeah, no, I know. I know.
Like,
I know
the gravity. Not even the stuff
statement.
he like helped produce. Like that stuff he directly.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch the next season, but I will say this: the lead up to the next. I'm like ecstatic. I'm like super stoked for the new season. Like I want it already. Because the first season is already like a nice like full meal. But it doesn't make you look forward to what's like the next course.
Oh wow. Okay. That's great.
So I'll talk about yeah. So have you watched the show at all, like, or looked at it?
I've only seen a trailer for it. I've not actually sat and watched it yet.
All right, so it's a cartoon. It's the animation style is both like the kind of stuff you're used to from Craig McCracken and the shows he tends to direct, but also they kind of lean more into pulpy sci-fi comics. It's specifically with like a hero, like literally there's the Kid Cosmic reads those comics.
Okay.
Of just the spaceman who like fights aliens and all that. And the art style is very much that. Like it looks like it's printed on that shitty type of paper.
Oh, okay. I like that.
And you don't get the old thing. And this is something it took me a while to notice, is you don't get that old thing where the things that are going to move are highlighted differently than the rest of the background. No, everything looks like it's cohesive and part of that world.
I mean, that's a different level of difficulty, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, dude, it works so fucking well. Each character's like memorable. You know that thing of like, if you know it's a good character design if you can like look at their silhouette and know who that is.
Yes.
Every character's like that. Every character, you know exactly who they are. And like,
well,
fuck. Do you want me to give you like the basic premise? I won't go too much into what the ending is, but
yeah, just give me kind of like what would be the setup.
Yeah, and Nick, feel free to interrupt me because I'm just gonna keep going because I love this show so much.
Well, I was gonna say, also, like, yeah, it was impressive how consistent the characters were, like visually consistent the characters were with the background.
Yeah.
Ian, and also like what made it stand out more was also, in a way, you can also just reduce it to the color palettes of the characters themselves.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And at this point, I can just go, oh yeah, that's that character, and they're related to this character.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably the biggest strength of it is like the characters themselves and just the overall pacing. I was really blown away by.
Yeah.
And the environment like just is completely up my alley with the pulp like.
Oh, 100%. I was in. Yeah, I think we were both into that world as soon as it was presented to us.
Yeah.
Like that little. It's literally there's only 2 parts. There's 2 or 3 parts of town we know of.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we know that entire world. Like just how well put together it is and realized.
Yeah, and I can't think of any other creator that would tell a story like that too. Nowadays trying to go for the very colorful, very sleek look. And sorry, go ahead. I think that's.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, yeah, and just like the expertise, he just knows how to direct, man. They're when characters are like, it's this more snappy animation where it looks like it's almost skipping like certain frames of animation for characters just to convey like emotions real quickly, and when to go for full like almost 30 or I don't know if it was 60 frames per second, but like 30 at least. When to do that for motion and like just to convey ideas.
Right.
God. Anyway, I can go on about how much I love his work, like every day.
He's an amazing talent. I mean,
yeah. Apparently, he started off real young too.
And I mean, you also think like he's had all this time to kind of mature in what he does.
Oh yeah.
So you know.
So now we're just seeing like a more like perfected of his style.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So plot wise, writing wise, it's great. It's very enjoyable, very fun to watch. You rooting for these characters. You care about these characters. It's about a kid Cosmic, who finds 5 stones in the desert that were dropped from an alien ship. And these stones all have powers, and he's trying to figure out what each one does. And within the first like 2 or 3, you not only figure out what they do, but you get your cast, you get your team, each one who holds a stone. And I would say the first half of that series is probably that, like first 6 episodes or so.
Okay. Would you say that is it more of in the style of a Samurai Jack vis-a-vis visual storytelling over verbal storytelling, or
no? It's a good combination of both. It's mostly it's character driven. It really is. It really is about Kid Cosmic more than anything. And him just becoming like his own hero and his own, because he wants to be a hero, but he's bad at it. And the whole point of the show is that the first part is like that he's bad at being a hero. At least the idea of a hero that he's gotten over the years and that he wants to be.
I see.
But then it's like a coming of age, coming into his own type deal. Well, also there's aliens, and like starts off with a monster of the week type deal.
Okay.
Until we get to an overarching plot, which that part I won't spoil. Okay. Because it's actually a really nice transition into it. And once it happens, boy, can you like, you just can't wait for the next season. Like,
and
I want to do a whole full spoiler thing about this thing. I love this thing. I think it's 12 episodes. But some of those episodes are pretty short. They're like 16 minutes or like.
Really?
Yeah, some are like the full 30, and then some are just 16 because just whatever that episode has to do, that's what it's going to do.
I love that kind of storytelling. I'm getting really.
Yeah. Alex Hirsch guest directs one of the episodes, and it's one of the best episodes.
Ooh, okay.
It's like one of the most important episodes as well. Voice acting's phenomenal. It's all great. It's just a well put together amazing show. Like, amazing cartoon.
Well, this sounds very promising. I'll have to put on that.
Yeah, I think we binged it in like 2 days. Like, because we just kept, nope, let it play. Let's keep it going. And there just aren't like many cartoons like that anymore, you know?
No, absolutely. Yeah. I think that like, and it's very strange. Like, I know that Netflix has put a lot of money into becoming an animation presence.
Yeah.
But I think currently HBO is currently kind of killing it with animation. They've got
well, in terms of property, just like having property, having IPs.
I mean, yeah, they've got IPs out the yin yang. Yeah.
But like Netflix is trying to do their own thing, and when their studios aren't like horribly crunching people, like you get some really amazing stuff. Like I still can't bring myself to watch Carmen Sandiego because I know most of that staff isn't being paid or didn't get paid for that.
I really can't.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it really spoils the experience of just knowing that.
And then Dragon Prince, the harassment that's gotten from the director.
Oh, I hadn't heard about that.
There's a whole big thing.
Well. Oh, you hate to hear about that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's the guy. It's directed by the guy from Avatar who kind of strong-armed his name into the directing like position, because it's the two guys, and then this is the third one.
Yeah. Yes.
Who actually didn't do like too much.
Was like he was related, but not the.
He wasn't the story writer. Yeah, he wasn't the guy actually putting together everything.
Yeah.
And that sucks because I heard Dragon Prince is great.
Yeah.
Like I would watch just to support the animation team, but to know he's getting like money, like bums me the fuck out.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Hey guys, there's lots of ways to watch stuff, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm not saying anything.
Not saying nothing. Yeah. So, but go watch Kid Cosmic and the Stones of Power. Like, fuck, dude, that show's great. It's great. I can't get enough of it. The soundtrack's great. Yeah, if you watch it, I'm down to do a full spoiler because like I want to talk about every little.
I'm very interested in that. I was probably going to watch that one, so
yeah. I know, and I only found out about it like 2 days before it came on Netflix, and I went, "Oh shit, dude, I'm gonna watch anything Craig McCracken puts out."
I mean, he's got such a track record you can't beat.
All right, what else did I watch? Just haven't caught up with the latest episode of WandaVision. As of right now, I got to that Brady Bunch type one.
Oof.
Which is, I would love to talk about that one, a very particular thing, but that is like a full spoiler.
I would love to talk about it. If you guys want, we can put a little warning.
Let's save it for when the show's ended, because we're also gonna like run low on time. So
alrighty, no worries.
Get this, yeah. Let's see, WandaVision. I talked about Occult last time, right? The found footage.
Yes.
Movie by the same guy who directed Nori or Curse.
Yes.
Talked about that. Haven't gone to play much because my hand's been acting up because of work. Which I'll talk about what that means for the streams later on today. Later on in this podcast, probably towards the end. What else did I talked about finishing the Vision comics last time. Yes. Was that really? Yeah, I didn't do too much because playing games has been weird. I'm like slowly making my way through 13 Sentinels.
Oh, tight.
I can talk about music. Yeah, so I listened to, because we were talking about it with Nick, some pretty cool stuff. I finally sat down and listened to full, like, I like to do this thing where I listen to the entirety of albums in one sitting from artists. So I did that for Flying Lotus, finally, even though I listened to his stuff beforehand, and I'm like fully aware of who he is and listen to his stuff. But I never listened to Flamigara like in its entirety, back to back, or like all the way through. And that album's fucking great. Okay. Are you aware of his work, Ian?
I think that we have talked about the Lotus before, but I've not sat down and listened to much of his work myself.
All right. Well, he's the Flamigara is the one with probably the song that like I think a lot of people are mostly known for because of Anderson .Paak, which is More. And then it's also the one with Fire is Coming, which is with David Lynch.
Okay.
It's a long, weird album. I absolutely love it. And More and the David Lynch one, yes, are like some of the best songs on there, or some of my favorite at least. But it's all together just a weird, well put together album. With Takashi being the banger.
Okay.
Fucking out. Holy shit, dude. That song's amazing. That song's like legit fucking awesome. It's I dare people to listen to that song and not try to like groove to it because it's so just like hauntingly groovy. But like, how do I put this? It's one of those things where I listen because I knew him as a producer before I listened to his stuff.
Yeah.
and I knew he was producing all these artists that are amazing, like Thundercat, Anderson .Paak, Kendrick Lamar. I know he did the Butterfly, something Butterfly album. Damn it.
To Pimp a Butterfly.
To Pimp a Butterfly. It's like his best album. So to listen to his stuff, I'm listening to it and I'm just listening to his album and just thinking, wow, Flying Lotus is such an amazing musician. He probably won't get the uber popularity he deserves. Because it's just not gonna like sit with everyone.
I don't think it's not gonna be no.
But yeah, and that to Nick's point, he doesn't need that. Like he's creating his weird music and it's amazing.
He's an artist.
Oh, sorry,
go ahead. Oh no.
I was just gonna say that like it's the same with MF Doom. Like it just I guess it comes down to the mentality of whatever is not the most popular is therefore underappreciated.
Yeah.
Now comes the question of, well, what do we define as popular versus what do we define as if it's not popular, therefore it is underappreciated or therefore a niche, like those two extremes. I feel like Flying Lotus is nice in the middle because he's well respected and
absolutely
in the industry and anyone that just knows his work.
Yeah.
And same with MF Doom, like if you know his work, like you know that how important his work is, you know.
Yeah,
I don't think that automatically makes him like niche or underappreciated.
Yeah.
Would it be nice for him to get more appreciation? Absolutely. I think whatever he gets is completely deserved as an artist, and that sounds menacing. What I mean is that
gets what's coming to him.
Gets what's coming to him. But yeah.
No, and to your point, that's why I always try to separate popularity and how much they're appreciated. Because you talk to anyone who listens to Flying Lotus, no one's gonna I haven't heard anyone say a bad thing about him. I think he has like the right amount of respect in the sense that that's what people feel when they listen to him and stuff, right? Popularity is like a whole different metric, and sadly, popularity a lot of the times it equals the amount of money. Not all the time, because then that's why you take up a producer role and like you gain money through that. But like I'm not saying Flying Lotus is doing bad. At quite the opposite. I think he's doing actually phenomenal in this industry. And like I like every single thing he does, I want to like check out because there really quite isn't that many artists like him, or any for that matter, right now. But yeah, that's my super late take on the super popular album Flamigara. So, you know, and I'm gonna listen to You're Dead next, in its entirety, just to take it up. What else did I listen? I finally listened to Daughters, to Nick's recommendation, and I listened to You Won't Get What You Want, which is their latest album. You know about Daughters, Ian?
Yeah, they're that kind of ethereal sounding group, right? They've got a very breathy.
No.
No,
I don't... exact opposite.
I would argue, quite the exact. Maybe earlier.
Rock band Daughter.
Daughters.
Okay, Daughters plural. I was thinking of Daughter, the duet.
Anyway,
no.
Quite
hey, we're about to. I was like, "Oh, Ian, we got to talk about that."
Because my next line was going to be, "Well, this noise band was." So apparently they started off as like mathcore.
Yes.
If I read that right, like when looking them up. And this is apparently their most different they've ever been. Having said that, this album's great. It's phenomenal. And it's another album I think you should listen to in its entirety. And it was something I was talking about with Nick, trying to get my like ideas together about it, which is a lot of noise bands when you're listening, stuff like Lightning Bolt or like Melt Banana. Yeah, you can listen to what each instrument is doing, and what you're gonna find is like some pretty cool, like complex stuff. But a lot of the times it's like, and this is just my interpretation to this. I could be completely wrong because I'm relatively new to like noise music. Where you kind of just take in the song in its entirety, and you kind of go with the emotion that's coming through that, or whatever they're trying to convey.
Yeah.
Daughters has, it's why I'm kind of hesitant to call it noise music, is the lyrics are very more driving force than stuff I've been listening to around that genre. So, like, the lyrics are incredibly important to what the song is trying to convey, and the music in the back, and it's just like a regular song, I guess, but it's a music just trying to help those lyrics convey the emotion, which is a lot of like frantic or anxiety driven, or just just the idea of things not making sense to the way people act, or what, or your actions not being like why would you do that, why, like, it's, but you do know why it's an emotional driven action, not a intelligence driven action.
Right.
And just conveying those complex ideas and how to visualize that,
Right.
while also being a pretty sick like noise man. It's
going hard. Right.
Yeah, it's really, the singer, I think it's the right type of singing for the right type of band, just conveying that anxiety. Um, yeah, how would I describe it? It's like it's the anxiety you have while trying to do mundane tasks, I guess.
So it's like listening to a panic, as someone said earlier. It's like listening to a panic attack in some ways.
Yeah, along those lines. But you're hiding it, you know.
Right.
You're hiding, like, oh. Again, I'm trying to put to words this thing that should be expressed in music. So my opinions are probably going to change as I go through it. I don't know what you thought of the album, Nick, but I do love it, and I want to re-listen to it again to kind of get the feeling.
Yeah, so that's why I recommended it for you, because it's and it's definitely one of those things where it succeeds so well at what it's going for. And what's wild, Ian, is that this band Daughters, this is the album they put out after like 10 years of a hiatus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. This is their comeback album.
Essentially. And it's interesting because it does come to a question. It does make me question what exactly we, or at least a lot of labels or a lot of business tries to sell as, quote, dark music.
Yeah. Or punk, for that matter, because it's
Or
technically
punk.
under punk.
Exactly. Where it's difficult to label something in that way, because it's this album, you won't get what you want, is in its own way, like there's like a beauty to it. There's like this
there really is
incredible like interpretation of a lot of the themes that the band's trying to convey through the lyrics. And yeah, it may not be in a way we're used to, but the fact that they're able to achieve it to a level that it can't be described with words, I think really shows like how much they were able to succeed in their pursuit with this album. So that's why I recommended to Chris about it, because I knew he would love what exactly this is going for.
Right.
And it's probably the most addicting band I've heard in a while, where you just want to keep re-listening to it, even though it's really I mean, the subject matter is really heavy in a way, but at the same time, it does such a great job just pushing you through it as you listen to it.
And the song, and there is stuff to chew on. Like, the songs are dense. Like, there is a wall there that you're trying to, like, they're trying to present you that wall, and you're trying to figure out why. Why is that there?
Right.
No, I don't know if a wall's, how would I describe it? It's an ocean of emotion. No, it's they're throwing water at you, and you're like, why? But you kind of just let it soak you, I guess.
Yeah,
I
like
don't know.
Redman.
I'm gonna come up with a better analogy here.
It's tough, yeah. That's why I just told Chris, just listen to it.
Yeah, just listen to the thing. That's what I'm gonna say to you, to everyone out there. Go listen to it. It's not gonna be for everyone, and it would kind of suck if it did. But, like, go listen to it. Yep. All right. What else? What else have we been listening to? Well, I pre-ordered Alpha Mist's new album. Can't wait for that to come out. Haven't even listened to the song because I like listening to his albums all the way through. For those who don't know Alpha Mist, it's like very more on the more lighter jazz side, but with hip hop.
Okay.
It's just great. Alpha Mist is a phenomenal musician that everyone should check out. Silhouettes from Dead Astronauts. New album after how many years, Nick? Since
Oh man, like 5?
5? I was listening.
Yeah.
I listened to their albums as they came out in college.
Jesus.
One of the best synthwave acts, or just synthwave groups at the time.
Oh yeah.
Their new album's good. I actually do like Glitbiters. Like new part in this duo. And I like her stuff a lot. I don't know. Maybe I gotta re-listen to it because it didn't give me the same feelings as how much I like the other albums. But
yeah,
but it's been a while, so you gotta, that's you're probably expectations and all that. Was it? I was listening to all of MF Doom's stuff again just because. I feel like I don't need to say much about that. If you know MF Doom, you know MF Doom.
Yeah.
If you don't, why not? Do you go listen to him?
It's some of
some of the best rap you'll ever listen to.
I was gonna say the melodies are amazing, the tunes are amazing, but the lyrics are otherworldly.
Yeah.
Really. Like I don't know.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you guys haven't ever listened to MF Doom, I highly recommend go to YouTube and check out like a breakdown of some of his songs, and it's just someone it's literally just the song playing with lyrics appearing in a kind of poetic deconstruction.
Yeah.
And if you do a regular kind of deconstruction on the lyrics, the complexity, the tightness of his lines are amazing.
Oh yeah, tightness is like the number one thing I would go. And they're funny. They're fucking funny.
They're funny, yeah.
The Rap Snitches is all about selling crack. And and just, but like it's one of those things in hip hop. Mos Def has a video of him laughing about it and talking about it, where rappers talk about selling crack but never saying never have or never actually saying they did if they had, because you're afraid. No, this is full on both him and the other rapper just talking about selling, doing it themselves. And Danger Doom, man, if you watched Adult Swim, you probably heard those songs. Go listen to them again. Danger Doom, that was my introduction to MF Doom back when they were coming out on Adult Swim. Those songs, it'll put a fucking smile on your face. You'll love it.
I think that a lot of people were introduced to artists through through Adult Swim and through the summer program, especially
But MF Doom had like a bigger presence on Adult Swim than just like he played parts. He helped write all like stuff for them,
Yes.
It's a much bigger. Yeah, so that's Chris's take on MF Doom. This super famous rapper, who everyone knows it's amazing. That was a bad day when he passed, or when we found out, which I know was a while ago now, but.
But I mean, he was a real iconoclast, someone really shaping the genre in a way that it hadn't been in a long time. And I watched MF Doom talk about artists that he was interested in working with.
Yeah.
And I find it really interesting that the only person that apparently was on his radar was Kanye. And given the choice between them, I think that Doom has done much more stylistically and creatively than Kanye has done.
I mean,
that's my hot opinion. That's my hot take.
I'm not a big Kanye guy, so I don't know the full thing. But like, and I'm a much bigger MF Doom guy, so I want to agree with you. But like, I liked him better. I liked him a lot better.
I personally like his style. I prefer his style, and
Yeah.
I think that just kind of the ways in which he broke down genre were more experimental, I guess, is the way I would say that.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Everyone go listen to MF Doom. Is the short answer. Just listen. It's music. Go listen to it. Go experience how they wanted you to experience it. What else? Night at the Grindhouse. This was on Nick's recommendation, and I wanted to do this. That's a collaboration by Stranger and Destroyer.
Nice.
Yo, that's good shit. I like that. It does what it goes for. It's Grindhouse style horror movies, and like kind of there's the cheesiness to it, but those beats, man, those are fucking heavy and hard hitting. That is a goth rave. Like,
oh my
going
god!
On, pulse pounding. You're doing like a hard robot like style dance too.
Like Dave Chappelle, like the fucking guy in the back.
No, like Terry Crews and fucking White Chicks where he's blowing the whistle. It's like that.
If you guys ever did drugs in the 90s, you know what kind of raves we're talking about. It was like that.
Oh, like Blade Trinity when the blood shower like sprinkler.
That's right. All right, last thing. I'm just this came out a bit ago, but like I'm just gonna give a shout out because he has a vinyl now. Groovy Kaiju just released Still Groovy, his first ever vinyl.
Yes.
And of course, I was one of the first people to buy it because, of course, me and Nick are huge. While we were listening, while he was still called Groovy Godzilla, he changed it to Groovy Kaiju just to kind of, hopefully, Toho doesn't come down with the hammer.
Sure.
Groovy, yo man, that's future funk. That's some of the best future funk I've listened to. It's still my favorite, even though it's my first. I like it a lot more than a lot of other people. But that's not to say those other artists aren't good. There's some really good artists out there. But Groovy Kaiju, there's an earnest, there's a funness to it. There's it's not over earnest, but you know he loves this.
Right.
Like he went on to programming for a little bit, and now he's making music again on his time.
Okay.
When he has a chance. And for those unfamiliar, Aaron Turner's the artist. We used the old intro to this podcast used to be one of his original songs.
Indeed, so, it was.
Everyone, go check out fucking Groovy Kaiju. Go buy his vinyl. It's a good vinyl. It's good shit. All right. I think that's about it for all I've done. All right. You guys, cool to wrap it up here? Like, what are we all looking forward to?
I'd be happy to do so. Yeah.
All right. Nick, you take the reins since you went first. What are you looking forward to?
Sure. Man? I mean, I'm looking forward to. The most I'm looking forward to is Guilty Gear Strive.
Oh hell yeah, dude! I can't fucking wait. I'm so mad I wasn't able to get time off work to do the beta.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna stay up
I'll
late.
get to do the beta. No.
Fuck.
No, I mean that. I'm looking forward to finish rewatching the Monogatari series. And then Chris, and then
no, sorry, I was trying to hold in a hiccup while saying. So I made it sound like I made it sound like very condescending.
Oh, did you in fact look forward to Monogatari?
Oh man,
I wouldn't have guessed.
Wow, what a nerd. But yeah, probably that. Looking forward to more. Well, I mean, I'll be able to by the time we get to the next episode, I would finish the other music stuff I'm listening to, and then just that.
Okay. Right on. Ian. Oh wait, what about Redwall? When's that coming out? Is there any release date?
Chris,
be a long ass time, right?
Not,
it's the guy from Over the Garden Wall, so it's gonna take a while, right? Like,
yeah, dude, that's not even on my thing. Like, my brain, like, reacted for like a minute, and then it threw it in the back because like
it's
that's
not
gonna
gonna
be
be
a
out
long
for a
ass
while,
time.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what a good pick for a director, right?
That's honestly the best person to get.
I can't think of anyone else.
Yeah.
And plus, that's a very low bar given the original show in the '90s wasn't that good.
Oh, I didn't even know
No.
it had a show.
It did in the
bad.
'90s.
We should do a watch along.
Oh my god.
Yes, we should, and I can explain why what the show was missing.
For those who don't know, the Redwall, like Nick loves that series.
Oh,
Yes.
I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah. Don't you have all the books?
I do not. I do plan to collect all of them though, but I did read all of them. I think it's like 21 books in total.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And I mean, I could do a whole podcast just me explaining like each book.
Redwall lore.
I could.
Yeah.
But all I'll say is
maybe
that
that's an idea. That's there's probably not a lot out there for Redwall podcasting.
And when I was reading it, I always wanted it to be like a movie or show, a good show, because I hated even now I hate the '90s one.
Oh, never mind.
But yeah, but now it's coming. Now it's actually going to be on Netflix, and I hope it's good. I really hope it's good, and I am really confident with the director because I love Over the Garden Wall. So he also has that same sort of style. So
I was gonna say, is Mikhail gonna be doing? It's gonna be an animation though. He's keeping it in.
Yeah, it's an animation.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but then it's also the question of will he do the rest of it, but I guess it'll just be the reception of the the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was it. I think his directing role was announced the day that like really fucked up cartoon came out from him, if I remember correctly. And I still gotta watch it.
Is that what it's called? Really fucked up cartoon?
No, I just saw he put out new animation and it said Super NSFW for
the
tweet. So
gotta look for that. Okay.
Yeah, I gotta watch that.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything else, Nick?
No, I said that's kind of it.
Okay. Okay.
Ian, what's up?
So for me, I'm gonna say this is a little more broad of what I'm looking forward to, but 2021 is gonna be the year where we basically get a makeup for last year as far as releases. Like this
Supposedly.
year, I mean, Warner Brothers and Disney are both kind of gung ho about like home releases are going to happen.
Oh, what's that Disney movie you're gonna have to pay for again? They did with
that's
Mulan.
this March. That's this March.
That's the one. It's the one with the dragon, right?
Yeah, I think it's based on if not Filipino, kind of Southeast Asian mythology.
I thought it was
of some
Vietnamese.
kind.
Okay.
Maybe it's Vietnamese.
Okay.
But yeah, that one you're gonna have to pay for on March 15th, I think.
Sucks, dude.
It fucking blows. But I am looking for like HBO Max is going to be releasing a fuck ton of DC content this coming year. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. Disney is going to be releasing a fuck ton of like. I'm gonna watch Scarlet Witch. I've kind of not Scarlet Witch. Fucking.
WandaVision.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna watch the rest of WandaVision, but they are going to start releasing Marvel properties onto Disney Plus directly this year. So
that's good.
I didn't realize how much I missed that content in my life until I had to go without for so long. So
what, Marvel movies?
Just kind of like, well, I guess specifically Marvel movies, but just kind of like just some good fun, like popcorn stuff to distract myself.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? Like, there were movies that came out last year, but a lot of them were kind of less on that.
Yeah.
On that wavelength, they were more serious, like dramas and things like that. I'm looking forward to Kristen Wiig's new comedy. I'm gonna watch
I've heard
that.
Good things about it. Richard Cheese is in it.
Richard Cheese is in it?
Yeah.
Okay, now I've got to watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
I think he's in one of the trailers too. Apparently. Okay. Apparently, the trailers are not doing the movie justice, is what I'm hearing. So.
I was getting the impression that it's this is gonna sound like a backhanded compliment, but I watched the trailers and I thought, well, that movie has to be better than that trailer made it look.
I heard Christian Wiig wanted this movie to be weird, so like, hopefully it is.
It's gonna probably be a surreal time, I imagine.
Yeah. But Richard Cheese is in that movie.
I had also heard that Wes Anderson's next picture is gonna come out, and I've been fucking waiting to see that for like half a year now.
The 3-part thing, like the 3 stories. Yeah.
I totally forgot French about Dispatch. That. It should be released now. I understand that it's currently under. Like, it was produced with Warner Brothers and Universal doing distribution. So there's currently a little bit of a ruffling of feathers. But my understanding is HBO is just going to be like, yeah, we're making the money. We're distributing this. We're putting it on the HBO thing.
Don't worry, a Criterion version will be out in the week after.
Give me this movie. Anyway, looking forward to that. What about you, man?
Me, WandaVision for sure. Getting back into 13 Sentinels. I just gotta sit down and like play it. Already 3 hours in, and there's multiple sci-fi genres going on, and that's pretty cool. It's pretty wild. Less I say, the better. It's that kind of game.
Okay.
Although honestly, and you might enjoy it. It's a visual novel, so it's not like heavy on the gameplay.
Okay.
So you could just kind of like sit back and watch.
That sounds nice.
What else? That one, Guilty Gear is gonna take up that entire time I have off. Oh yeah, as far as streams go for my hand, I'm gonna try my best to keep it at 2 streams a week. Okay. Although might pare down to 1 just because of work has been really wonky. We had a guy leave, and now I'm gonna be like the only I'm gonna be the only closer.
Oh damn!
So that's gonna be fun.
Cool.
Especially with my fucking arm. So what might happen is both those streams will not be Dark Souls. Hopefully, I can do 1 at least. If I have the day off with Nick, I'm gonna try my best. If we both have the day off, that we do Final Fantasy, because I won't have to control or play that. I just have to commentate, and that'll be a good, nice rest. But I'm thinking about replacing one of the games with a visual novel, so I don't have to use my hand that much. Yeah.
The Neko Para.
Everyone keeps telling me to do that, and I won't. So there you go. I might
sounds like a lie.
I might do the no-nary games. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh,
just because I have so much to talk about those games and how I think that, like, when I played them at the time, they were some of the best storytelling, because you can only tell that story as a game.
Yeah.
As a visual novel. Maybe I'll go back to Doki Doki Literature and actually finish it. So that might be a good. Just expect something that's not going to be intense on gameplay. And like more heavy on commentary. Sure. Like whenever Disco Elysium comes out and that's fully voice act, I'm doing a playthrough of that. Okay. So I don't have to voice act every line. Because holy shit, dude. Yeah. That game's amazing, but that would be a killer to do on stream just because of my voice. It would be gone. So that's pretty much it for now. Yeah. Hey, Ian, do you know about the Resident Evil basement theme?
It's gonna play. The basement theme?
That's right. Director's
As in, meaning the music which is played in the Resident Evil basement?
Yeah, it sounds like a clown orgy where they're all farting.
Oh, yes. Okay, yes.
Okay, good. I had to explain that story to someone. Maybe I'll put it at the end of this podcast. Who knows?
I think that sounds like a capital idea, guys.
Sounds like a good idea.
Let her rip, clowns.
The singer was, the composer was pretending to be deaf for years, and it was only come out recently.
No.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
So guess what? The best part of that story, Ian, is he heard that song being played because the guy who was supposed to put it into the game chose the wrong instrument set. That's why it sounds like that. But that means they played it to the composer, and in order to keep pretending he was deaf, had to just let it happen.
Oh my fucking god, that's amazing.
That was blindness.
No, deaf. He
It's
was deaf and
I thought
blind. Or no, it's deaf. He was deaf because they called him the modern Beethoven.
Oh my god.
Oh, I tried.
And the only reason they got suspicious is sometimes people would call out his name and he would turn around.
You stupid fucking idiot! You idiot!
And the guy, and it was actually a different guy composing the music. Everybody, go look up that story. It's fucking wild.
Ooh, you feeling these, huh? Yeah, you feeling
Good night, guys.
Ooh.